In love, there's a strange law of relativity. The more awake and clear-headed you are, the more hurt you often feel. The more emotionally stable you are, the more confused you become. The more you care about him, the more you feel trapped. But when you start to care more about yourself, that's often when he starts to care more about you. When you're no longer afraid of losing him, that's exactly when he starts fearing losing you. So here's something we often forget: don't love someone too much. Because when you do, misunderstandings become inevitable. The more you love without holding anything back, the more likely you are to end up empty-handed. At the core, true self-respect is powerful. It's not about how nice you are or how much you give. It's about your energy, your presence, the kind of strength that makes someone think twice before walking away. So what makes someone emotionally strong? First, strong people don't change who they are just to keep someone. They don't beg, plead, or chase. Unlike those who constantly adjust themselves in the hope of being loved back, strong people set boundaries. They know their worth and don't build their happiness around someone else. Weak thinking in love often looks like this: getting overwhelmed by emotions, giving too much too soon, hoping the other person will match your energy, and ending up feeling like a beggar in your own relationship. That's not love. That's dependency. Strong people do things differently. They focus on their own goals, their growth, and their rhythm in life. They make time for love, but they never lose themselves in it. They're clear about what they can accept and what they won't tolerate. Even if someone can't meet their needs, they won't lower their standards. They walk away instead of trying to change the other person. Because let's face it, no one changes unless they want to. If a person doesn't like you for who you are, no amount of effort will change that. Not your sincerity. Not your loyalty. Not even your pain. Adults don't change people. They make choices. Now let's talk about human nature. Sometimes people enter your life not because they love you deeply, but because they see your life as good and want a piece of it. They're not there to give. They're there to take. So if someone doesn't feel they're getting your full attention or emotional energy, and especially if you don't treat them too nicely, oddly enough, they often fall deeper for you. Because relationships aren't built on sacrifice. They're built on balance. This is a common misunderstanding. From childhood, we're taught that love is about giving everything, about sacrifice. But adult love doesn't work that way. People are drawn to those who bring energy and value, not to those who are constantly exhausted and empty. If someone senses that being with you is draining, they'll walk away. Not because you're not good enough, but because they're only human. Selfishness is part of human nature. People stay where they feel good, where they feel uplifted, not where they feel burdened. So if you're constantly tired, begging for love, hoping someone will fill the emptiness inside you, then your presence won't feel attractive. Attraction starts with confidence, with lightness, with a sense of peace. A person doesn't fall in love with your sacrifices. They fall in love with your glow. Many people fall into this trap. Once they're in a relationship, they give everything. They assume the other person will naturally love them back. But too much sweetness, too early, can make someone lose their appetite. If a lock can hold a relationship together, then there must also be a key that can open it. If someone is with you only because you're nice, what happens when someone nicer comes along? Psychologically, love is a mutual attraction. It's not about who gives more. Everyone gives in love. That's not special. To truly hold someone's heart, it's not about giving more. It's about understanding what they actually need. There's something called projection in psychology. You think what you're doing is good for them, but maybe it's not what they want. You might be loving them in a way that only makes sense to you. Take the story of Jenny and Alan. Jenny loved Alan deeply. She would call him every chance she got. She went out of her way to deliver things he forgot. She tried to hold on to the relationship with her effort. But Alan didn't respond with gratitude. Instead, he said, "I didn't ask you to do any of this." That hurt. But it was honest. Because real love doesn't require extreme sacrifice. It doesn't need you to bend yourself backwards or be available 24/7. That's not love. That's emotional overcompensation. When you give so much and feel the other person doesn't respond, you start to question their love. But maybe they never asked for all that. Maybe they were looking for something simpler. Sometimes we confuse our own love with theirs. We believe, I've done so much, so they must love me back. But the truth is, love isn't always logical. It's not always equal. It's not always reciprocal. Too much effort can even push someone away. In psychology, this is explained by something called Weber's law. It basically says that when the initial emotional intensity is high, it becomes harder to maintain the same level of impact over time. Think of a first date. A guy brings flowers. That feels sweet and romantic. But if he keeps doing it on every date, by the fourth or fifth time, it loses its charm. The same action no longer creates the same emotional reaction. Love works the same way. So if you go all in from the start, if you give everything too soon, then no matter how much more you give later, it might not move the other person. It's like hitting a ceiling too quickly. After that, nothing you do feels new or exciting. That's why timing matters. Pacing matters. If you really love someone, learn to love them gradually. Meet them where they are. Don't try to do everything all at once. Let love breathe. Let it grow naturally. Remember the movie Love in a Puff when Jiang Zemin told Chun Zhao, some things don't have to happen all night. It's a reminder that real love doesn't rush. It unfolds. So don't be afraid to take your time. Don't try to impress someone with how much you can give. Instead, focus on being someone who is already whole. Someone who knows how to love and also how to live. Because in the end, you are someone worth loving. Not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. And if you're ready to shift the energy in your love life, hit that like button, share this with a friend, and join our growing community of emotionally intelligent women.